What if I told you I had one product that could increase your energy, increase your stamina, aid your metabolism, improve your blood sugar and your digestion, decrease inflammation, help with mood disorders, strengthen your body, and increase your libido, as well as increase athletic performance and decrease recovery time? If I could wave a magic wand and guarantee you all these things, I would definitely do so. One of the key products and key ingredients in my foundational recommendations or prescriptions for clients is my Mighty Maca Plus formula. So this is a special sponsored episode, really specific to talk about my formula, Mighty Maca Plus, but specifically the benefits of maca and the experience that you can have. I often get a question, what is maca? Who can take maca? How does it help? And is it safe? So I get a lot of these questions, and I want to address those too during this episode and share some story with you. So my formulation, Mighty Maca Plus, and my experience with maca started in 2006 when post-traumatically, after our son passed away, and I'd been diagnosed with infertility and then early menopause, and then told I would never be able to have another child. I took a sabbatical from my practice and took my two daughters that were still in school and homeschooled them and took a journey around the world. One of the first places we went to in 2006 was Peru. And in Peru, when you're tired, they say drink maca. I started to notice all these things. When you're tired, they say drink maca. When they say if your baby's not thriving, drink maca. If you're infertile, drink maca. And then they would elbow my husband at the time and say it's the Peruvian Viagra. So I was like, okay, let's drink some maca, okay? But I couldn't stand the taste of it. But it was really interesting because I was like, okay, if this is a superfood, what else can I combine? What are other healing superfoods? Because at this point, I had been devastated and my doctor's bag was empty. I felt lost, and there was nothing any one of my colleagues in my medical world could do to help me. And so the Peruvians, very optimistically and such positive and energetic people, they're saying, okay, let's have some maca. So I started drinking it. And I also, as a researcher, wanted to understand what is behind this root. So to study the composition and to study the folklore about it. So let me share with you first what maca is. Maca is a vegetable. It's in the cruciferous family, like cabbage and cauliflower. We know which are good for healthy hormone detoxification. It's good for breast health. So I knew that. So this is a root crop that has been cultivated for over 2,000 years now. Traditionally, in addition to its use as a food staple, maca has been used to relieve stress. It's been used as an aphrodisiac, right? Sign me up. And for fertility enhancement in both males and females. Recently, over the past, decade, commercial maca products have gained popularity in areas outside of South America and incorporated into dietary supplements and with claims such as boosting energy, enhancing fertility, balancing hormones, and acting as an aphrodisiac, enhancing sexual performance. In fact, in the Journal of Menopause in 2008, a study was published that showed Lipidium myaina, which is maca, reduces psychological symptoms, including anxiety and depression, and lowers measures of sexual dysfunction in postmenopausal women, independent of estrogenic or androgenic activity. It's been considered very safe. We know that maca is a adaptogen, meaning that it works in states of low or high adrenal dysfunction. It is also a genetic adaptogen, so it works with your genes versus against them. And the same way turmeric and quercetin and resveratrol have been shown to do. So this is like one of those amazing, amazing foods. In Peru, Maca has been used to balance hormones in males and females and has even been said to improve the quality of a man's sperm. Now we're looking at the benefits of maca in menopause. There's been studies published looking at the reduction in hot flashes in menopause, improvement in sexual function in menopause, as well as additional benefits for energy and mood, again, decreasing anxiety. So this is really key, good information. I have to share that also soon after the Spanish conquest in South America, the Spaniards discovered their livestock were reproducing poorly in the highlands. So the local Indians recommended feeding the animals maca, and the results were so remarkable that the Spaniards chroniclers wrote in-depth reports about the root. The ancient Incan warriors would take maca before going into battle to improve their strength and stamina and their resilience and recovery time. And that is definitely something that I've seen over the years. And as I studied maca, I also studied the composition of it. Maca is rich in specific proteins called macaines that are just specific to maca. And it's also rich in arginine. Arginine is a nutrient that increases nitric oxide production, which increases blood flow and vasodilation, which is how Viagra works. So there's some good science to understand the reason behind maca's effect on erectile function, let's say, as well as it has histidine, not histamine, but histidine, which is known to increase libido and drive and desire. So it's a beautiful combination. What I've seen over the years is the combination of ingredients works tremendously. And I want to share why I combine some of these ingredients. As I went on from Peru as part of my journey and continued our travels, and as while in Peru, I started looking and researching at other of the Amazonian and jungle roots and medicinals and traditional medicines that healers had used over time. And I found the cat's claw herb. And I was very intrigued by its anti-carcinogenic properties, anti-inflammatory properties. And so I started to combine as I went. Again, I was infertile and in early menopause, and I just started combining these superfoods with no hope or ever foresight, indication that I would be able to reverse these conditions. But it's exactly what I did. Because I couldn't stand the taste of maca by itself, I started adding other superfoods into it and combining other ingredients. And that is really how maca was born. So I want to share with you some of these key ingredients from the Una de Gata cat's claw herb from Peru. Then I went to Brazil. We went as a family and stayed on a coffee plantation. And so I studied coffee bean extract and how that was used. But I found these fruits, these acerola cherry fruit, these acerola fruits, and they're a cherry, yellow and orange in color, and it contains 10 times the vitamin C that an orange does. And so I was fascinated by that too. And I started incorporating that as well as mangosteen. Mangosteen is a beautiful sweet fruit. So you understanding the science of it, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, breast health properties. I added mangosteen and pomegranate into the mix. And from there, we went to New Zealand and then Australia and Indonesia and China and Thailand and Hong Kong and the Middle East and throughout Europe. It was all part of our journey. And come May of 20, come that following year, I reversed with the grace of God. Seriously, the people I met, the foods I experienced, the healing practices, and the just it was just amazing. And I say it was the grace of God really that helped me on this journey and that put these ingredients together as part of it. But as I explored all the different medicinal foods and herbs and understanding the culture around them too, really was amazing. And as a result of that, reversed my early menopause. And I naturally conceived my daughter that I was told I would never be able to conceive. And I had her at age 41. And a result of this, I came back into my medical practice when I returned in October of 2007 to my medical practice. I was on fire to help my clients do the same thing. So I worked on formulating this mix that my Mighty Maca mix, as I was calling it. And I really worked on formulating it, looking at also additional great ingredients to make it even more powerful and taste good. And that's how Mighty Maca Plus was born. So one of the foods that I included into Mighty Maca is spirulina. Spirulina is a rich source of nutrients, and it contains up to 70% protein, B complex vitamins, phycocyanin, chlorophyll, beta carotene, vitamin E. I mean, it is a powerful superfood, and it is this bluish green, deep bluish green antioxidant superpower. It's been shown to help with weight loss, to be an antioxidant and an anti-neoplastic. It is said that the natives of the Sahara Desert, including the Kanembu people, also harvested spirulina from what is now known as Lake Chad and included spirulina in their diets. There have been many in vitro and animal studies that have been performed to assess the use of spirulina as a high protein food supplement in order to prevent or treat global hunger. It's really been known as a favorite superfood. And then chlorella, hand in hand, spirulina and chlorella are two of my favorite superfoods. Chlorella are single cell green algae that reproduces quickly with only carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight, and a few minerals. In the 1940s, chlorella was believed to be a superfood that could supply calories, fats, vitamins, and the then known 10 essential amino acids that would be needed to feed the booming population. Chlorella has also been used to treat clients with fibromyalgia, inflammatory disorders, autoimmune disorders, heavy metal toxicity, and so much more. I had mentioned mangosteen as a part of my trip around the world. And so I included these foods into Mighty Maca Plus. There are over 30 superfoods in Mighty Maca Plus. But mangosteen, I mean, just this beautiful fruit. If you've ever eaten mangosteen, if you haven't, you definitely have to try it. It has a nice hard shell on the outside and it's soft, juicy center. It's just delicious. It's native to tropical Asia, and several parts of the mangosteen have a long, long history in traditional medicine for a variety of medical conditions. It's high in phytochemicals and specifically xanthones, and this has been well researched in several studies showing antibacterial, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory effects, and animal studies also showing the anti-inflammatory effects. So it is this, again, incredible antioxidant superfood that tastes delicious. Acerola, which I first encountered in Brazil, just growing on beautiful trees, look like cherries, but you taste them and they're quite bitter. It originated in the Yucatan, and it is high in vitamin C, and it also has been shown to be a strong antioxidant and supportive of to support our immune system as well. So antioxidant and immune support. So that's another thing that I included. I also included beta glucan, which is a fiber that comes from the cell walls of algae, bacteria, fungi, yeast, and plants. It's used to lower cholesterol and to treat diabetes and for weight loss. And because of my strong family history of diabetes and cardiovascular disease, this was a really strong pull for me to include this in my formula, as well ensuring it's a gluten-free formulation. I added enzymes as well, some of my favorite enzymes, and I include these enzymes in nutrition in my medicinal menus. I include the source of these enzymes quite often. So bromelain from pineapple is really helpful for digestion. It's also been used as a natural diuretic and to decrease aches and pains, as well as ulcers. And papain is the enzyme from papaya, and it has been shown to be very healing, to promote healing, to decrease infection, to help with um, varicose veins. And so it's an excellent enzyme. It helps us digest our food and absorb the nutrients even more so. Amylase is a pancreatic enzyme, and it has helps us break down starch and helps with flavor too. So another reason that I added this enzyme in. Again, also we can eat the best, but if we don't have enough enzymatic support, we're not going to get the most potent results from it. So the combination works really great. Another one I added was milk thistle. Milk thistle has long been studied and used medicinally for over 2,000 years, principally in the treatment of liver and gallbladder dysfunction or disorders. We know that milk thistle, if someone has hepatitis, we want them on milk thistle. To support detox, we want them on milk thistle. Women struggling with menstrual disorders, milk thistle. So milk thistle has long been used in herbal medicine. And cat's claw. So I talked about cat's claw herb. So I know it's a kind of a funny name. It's called una de gato. It looks like, like a claw. It's found in Peru, and it's been used as an anti-inflammatory and immunostimulant for cancer as well as an antiviral. And this is key. We, studying different foods and ingredients and power antioxidants, the combination works really well. It's also been helped in treating congestion, sinus infections, etc. Then I wanted to support hormone balance for both men and women, and just to support detoxification as well as healthy gut function. And we want good fiber for that too. And to feed our microbiome, we want to have excellent fiber as a prebiotic. So I incorporated flaxseed, ground organic flaxseed, and it has a beneficial effect on hormone detoxification, specifically estrogen detox, and also to help with constipation issues, irritable bowel issues, diverticulitis, etc. Turmeric, there's so much news on turmeric. It has been used as traditional medicine in Asia for gastrointestinal pain, arthritic pain, and low energy, for brain health, for memory, and for mood. So turmeric is potent. Definitely cook with it. Add it into, you can make a hot turmeric tea. There's different ways you can use these ingredients too. Resveratrol is naturally occurring. It's identified in over 70 plant species. It's an antioxidant. You may have heard a lot of talk about turmeric, resveratrol, and quercetin, all within Mighty Maca. But during the pandemic, we were using these antioxidants for cardiovascular benefits and overall immune support, to support our immune system and natural function. So resveratrol is included in Mighty Maca, and quercetin, because quercetin makes CoQ10. And that helps us produce more energy. It was a given that I would include quercetin in here as a element to support our body's natural energy production. It's also been shown to help with cholesterol, diabetes, and inflammatory diseases. I added other ingredients too. I won't go into all of them, but grapeseed extract, green tea extract, cinnamon, and licorice root, all of these come together to make a really powerful product. And because over the years, I know that over 40 to 70% of clients struggle with energy, libido, hormonal imbalance, and inflammation. This became a staple. I initially ordered a small batch, and it went very quickly by word of mouth through my practice. And I had so many testimonials. I want to share just a couple with you. But I also did a study looking at individuals taking 2 to 3 scoops of Mighty Maca per day for 3 months. And I monitored the DHEA sulfate level in the blood because what I noticed in my own blood work, I went from very significant adrenal dysfunction to healthy adrenal function. And I tried other things for so many years. So I said, well, maybe it's the Mighty Maca. And I started checking in my patients. And sure enough, what we saw is in 3 months on 2 to 3 scoops per day, regularly, we saw an average of 70% to 200% increase in DHEA sulfate level, as well as an increase in our own body's progesterone level, day 21 for women. So we saw this in clients, and the research is significant around this hormone. So your health is an important investment. And I know that the choices you make, you have to navigate where to spend money and what to invest in. So with confidence, I always give 100% money back guarantee, but I want to share with you that we have over 150 medical providers that are our distributors of Mighty Maca to their patients, and over 1,000 people who promote our Mighty Maca product because they believe in it. It's worked for them. I'll share with you that functional medicine physicians, and at our clinic at Carpathia, before I started working there, Mighty Maca was one of their, has been one of their foundational products that they've used in the practice and completely advocated for by Dr. Margaret Christensen. Dr. Ellie Campbell and Campbell Family Medicine in Atlanta said she's seen that she loves it. First, she was skeptical, to be honest, about a green drink, but she loved it. And she said they've seen a reduction in symptom scores, especially for perimenopausal women. And and it's a first call of action for her patients too. We've had athletes, like we say, who is it for? I have Gona, who's now 17. She's been drinking Mighty Maca since she was 11. She's a national wrestling champion, and a great story. Mindy, who she started drinking maca because she was infertile. She's had 3 babies since, and she's a fitness expert, and she drinks Mighty Maca every day. She says she can tell if she's missed it, and she therefore doesn't miss it anymore. We've had personal trainers, world-class athletes such as Jason Robinson, who's a welterweight boxing champion. He drinks Mighty Maca because it gives him clean energy and helps with his recovery. Another 23-year-old Olympic athlete. He is a pole vaulter, Paul Sujat, was drinking Mighty Maca to help him with energy and endurance and recovery time. So all of these things are so key when it comes to women's health, especially. I mean, for our energy, for our desire for intimacy, for reducing hot flashes. We had Tony, who at age 56, she was 10 years post-treatment of breast cancer and was struggling with hot flashes and was unable to take hormone therapy, and she was on anti-estrogen drugs. So we put her on Maca, monitored her levels, and her hot flashes went away completely. So very, very safe, important adjuvant, definitely something to consider tasting, and it tastes great. So I am always humbled by the stories and the testimonies that I get around this product. And it is why it is my foundation. It is why I back it with my name and my reputation, as well as money back guarantee. I want you to get results. There's very little I can write on a prescription pad that gives us, actually, I can't think of anything I can write on a prescription pad. Well, maybe I could write orgasm and yeah, that will give you these results. Anyway, so this is a great foundational product. It is safe for the whole family. And I look forward to having many, many more success stories to share with you about it. You can visit mightymaca.com, M-I-G-H-T-Y, Mighty Maca, M-A-C-A. So mightymaca.com. Thank you.